Never say never. That's what always step to try to improve. Nice. All right. So next, we've got Clearer Eyes by Kevox. It's 3 days old now, which means it would have dropped on Brain Sunday. Yeah. Yep. Kevox has essentially just do like the releasing the music without any real video, like a single image sort of thing. But I believe this one is a fully animated one. Thank you for the follow, Cabers. I need to adjust that Frosty Tools thing a little bit. It's not giving me enough information on some of these things. I'll look into that. Not only, but because there's so many of these, I'm pretty much in a constant flow of these at the moment, especially as I missed my Monday stream. My Monday and Wednesday streams are usually about AI videos. Friday is the same, but I usually try and I've only done it like for 2 weeks now. I try to end it with a little bit of gameplay, and then Saturday is meant to be my like rest day, so I go and play a game for the day. But there's been so many AI videos; it's all been AI video reactions. I focus on the visuals because I like doing the animation, trying to get a story across with my own music. I go theme, lyrics, try and create a song from the lyrics, and the song part is where I'm the weakest. It's actually getting the Suno side of it to work on the AI generation. But I've got a good ear for music, even if I'm not particularly skilled at music. Yep. So, where was I? So yeah, so I try and make music, and then I start making the prompt videos to match the music and the story of whatever is going on to the actual theme of the music, the song. Sometimes I veer from that a little bit. Like I've got another song coming up after the Skybrose one, where I had a concept. I couldn't think of a particularly good way of framing the words for it, but I made the song important in its own way, but only tangentially connected to the video I wanted to make. Because it was all about making the video with a song to back it up. If AI was a little bit further along, I might have even tried making it a proper animation story, because it's about my character's lore, is what the video is about. Anyway, at the moment, we need to talk about Mr. Kevox and his Clearer Eyes song. Let's give this a look, and then I'll go back and check it over for anything else. That's all good. The sound and volume's all good. Let's go. Oh, that's it, money.
The portal's still open, quiet. Same familiar pull inside. I step through steady, same calm breath, same measured stride. Worlds unfold like pages I've turned 1,000 times. I still feel the spark, quite feel the way the unknown climbs. The colors still hit hard, the air still tastes alive. I got the lost, keep the past straight, help them make it to the other side. I never chase the danger, never run toward the fall. I always walked with open eyes, respected every call. Something shifted in the silence after you were born. The same old riffs now echo louder like a distant storm. Now every crack is sharper teeth, every quiet has a bite. Every distant shadow feels like it could steal the light. I still love the open road, still answer when it calls, but I carry double vision now shame. I just never had to measure it against the life I made. I never turned away from truth. Now the truth feels twice as real. Now every crack has sharper teeth. Every quiet has a bite. Every distant shadow feels like it could steal the light. I still love the open road. Still answer when it calls. But I carry double vision now. See the danger in the walls. No win and fall. No sudden end will ever catch me blind. I walk these rails with steady heart and a father's quiet mind. For permission, the worlds don't wait for me. I still step until breathe it in, still feel the wild and free. But there's a promise underneath every breath I take, a silent vow to keep it whole for the light I can't forsake. Yeah, every crack a sharper teeth, every silence holds a knife. But I still walk the endless path to the heart of life. The eventually of the one that stays, but call still pulls me free. I need it all with clearer sight because of you. Through every portal, every mile, I hold the line. I know the world's a different now, and I will never let it go. I still go, I still go, I still go, but I go with you in every step, always in every step.
All right, let's give this a proper review. Very the song itself, the message is clear. It's about making sure you stay true to yourself while still being a good parent, basically. All right, I'll say most of the generations are clean, and I will definitely praise the choices made. There, that entire section there. Because one of the things I find annoying is when people try and do a close-up of someone singing or playing a guitar, and it really doesn't match. Now, all they're doing there is doing the chorus, oh, oh, oh. And so all they need to do is open their mouth and close it at the right time. And so it feels right for them doing it. It's not quite perfect, but it's close enough that most people aren't as anally retentive of me about this, and they will just let it go. However, throughout the song,
The portal's still open, quiet.
the scene edits feel a little off. They're not on a beat. Some are on words, as in like they jumped on a particular word. This first section is not an issue because it's like building up to it, so you can kind of let that roll on a little bit. See, it's just sitting there on a cloud while the music's going mental. You'd either have the power, have the step in there, or you'd cut to something, and the things it cuts to is just him sort of like getting there ready to shoot, and then the shot happens in the middle of a nowhere. A bit of adjusting of the speed, throwing in a little bit something else in there, like just a scene of the trees rustling with the wind, maybe a prior scene for the cougar just sneaking along a little bit before the shot, so you can get the gunshot on something heavy. I mean, this next shot is on a nice beat, on the hard. It actually means something when it hits. The timing of the shot. Okay, and then we've got our first cameos, Psychro, and I was told his name earlier. I'm going to make an ass of myself for not remembering this. Rain Taran does all the cowboy song stuff. I really should react to something of his at some point, but he just tends to do the music, not the video. And I as I said, I focus on the video stuff, so I don't like going too much. I've gone to Gleeman's a couple of times, but he has had a few that have actually had a proper animation for him, I think, or unless I'm thinking of somebody did a video for one of his songs. Anyway, moving on. See, that doesn't match, the guitar doesn't match either, but it's close enough. If it was the fact he started singing again once his mouth was closed. So it's one of those things I don't particularly like. And only one of those drum strikes was on the right moment. So I would have done the shot on that screen. Because then you got the slow walk afterwards. Would be okay. I probably wouldn't even done that portal scene afterwards. Just have the moment of them walking as that slow part, and then cut on the Born to his family. And I said this part is fine because it's the family story part. That's too slow of a transition for that fast of a beat. That should have been a snap transition, or at least been like a shadow transition rather than a fade. Yeah, there was a fade out. It should have been a ghost in sort of effect. So that's the problem. That's why I don't put bands in myself. I try not to make it so that my people are playing the music or singing themselves, because it's not quite there yet. There is one program. It's really expensive, and Don P. Bongwash uses it. I can't remember what it's called, but that's the one he uses for all his videos where he's got people doing full scenes, chatting and talking. But it also favors realistic looking things rather than animation style things, so it wouldn't really work too well here. You can get away with getting close. And as for speaking, the mouth movements, you can actually tell, at least with Grok, you can tell it to say these words. And it may not say them where you wanted to say them, but if you get a generation that's close enough and the mouth is moving something similar to what you want, you can get away using that for the mouth movements, lip syncing, because you don't need to do lip syncing so much when you do anime. You just need the mouth flaps to move at the right times. The rest is up to editing at the moment. It's one of the flaws of AI generation. One of the many flaws. Now, it was a good rotation. I get the feeling it was meant to be camera rotates around him rather than him spinning around on the spot. But AI can be a bit of a bastard when it comes to doing that sort of thing. Yeah, but watch his mouth during the lyrics of this part. It was almost there. It just stopped one too many times. Yeah, but as I said, I try to avoid in situ sounds as much as possible. I try and make everything about the song, not making the song. See, I would have cut on that heavier part. See, that's well placed. It works very well for that when you just got someone making a noise. You can just time it up to it. But when it was like the actual singing part, it just didn't work. The Legends are beautiful. But yeah, a little bit of cut. I'd have cut a few seconds earlier, and I decided at the start of the screen for this scene. This part, it just, while it is a nice little movement scene, Keeney's tail. Oh yeah, yeah. He's got two of them for one moment as well. But as I said, as I've said in other videos, if your focus is here, as long as down here isn't super egregious, you can get away with it 90% of the time. There were people like me and Runya who pick up on those things every now and again, but obviously I didn't pick up on that one, so that one is a pass by my books because I didn't spot it. I mean, it's like a. Where is it? Here we go. Where's her arm? It's passing through her body. But because your focus is all here, because you've got a big dominant figure and you've got noticeable figures here, yes, his mistake is a little bit more visible, but you don't pay attention to that. You don't pay attention to the fact that the bandana's turned into red hair. You don't pay attention to the fact that I'm holding a crystal rather than holding an entire staff. If your focus is well enough held on a certain point, you can get away with the mistakes. You're like, look at Eustace's hat. Yeah, so on that screen is when I would have started this scene, and I would have started it with straight into the leap of the thing, no running and then leap. It'd be scene cuts, he leaps into the thing, and I'd have held on the family a little bit longer for that, even if it's just like a back and forth a little bit. But for this part, from actually where he did it, but I've extended the other scene and then cut to this. Yes, Joshi Shimani is. But people ignore that a lot on the animal creature type things lot, because people don't realise a lot of the time whether they are or not. But I was going to say before I went back to Battletale, this feels, even though it's a happier sort of idea of what he's doing, it's like going home to his family but still travelling the world and seeing things and helping people. The music is heavy. This feels a little bit Saturday morning cartoony. Yeah. And I tried to prompt it out, but especially in that scene where they're at the poker table, the more characters you have in the scene, the more details fall apart. It's like if we go to that poker table scene, I've got more hair on my face because I'm between two characters that got full beards. I'm missing my chest symbol. My eyes aren't purple enough. He's lost one of his pairs of horns. The star effect is there, but it's a little bit muted out. Ryder's doing okay, although he's not quite sitting on his chair properly. And Keen's eye patch bandana has disappeared off of his eye. Details get lost the more people you put into a scene. Especially when you do things like this, what I've done here, I changed the entire painting style. Turned everyone into an oil painting effect. Yeah. The problem with that is that if you're going to do like a full music video, and especially with ones I do, where like, this one's a relatively short one, but 5.5 minutes. And I'm not going to play it. But this one coming up, almost 7 minutes long, this one. So can you see that in the... If you tried doing that for that amount of video, you'd go nuts. You tend to just do the intro, which is like going to be 20, 30 seconds at most, usually. those of you who haven't made anything yet and are looking to make things, I suggest make your song short for your first one. Make it a short, snappy little number that you know exactly what you want it to be. That way you can get away with more. You can spend more time working on it, and then build up to longer songs. My first song is 5 minutes long, and instantly you can see it's just, this has got all the things that I tell people not to do. It's got the, but there, I would have changed on that drum beat. Changing style and over edited transition. Changing style again to, this was basically just me animating one of the covers for one of my gaming videos. See, that's a random change. It's just I did it when the scene and when the video clip ended, rather than on the beat or anything like that. But yeah, so your first video is never going to be great. Yeah. See, that's much better. That was a much more dramatic moment. I probably would have done that for the first bit.
Now the wind carries teeth. Every choice that used to feel simple carried extra grief. The peril was
And I would have done the change to here at that changing tone of the music.
always patient, always waiting in the shade. I just never had to measure it against the
See, that's nicely pasted edited.
I never turned away from truth. Now the truth feels twice as real.
That was a little bit off, but here's a little stop for Runya. I'm sure she's appreciative of this. Yeah, going too long on your first one could be a pain. Like I said, my first. Now, to be fair, my first. You heard of the priest, the thirsty priest. I think you meant to put there. Been having fun with him on X, haven't you? You can cheat it a little bit. So you know that is. I've not mastered it, but I also prefer. I personally like long songs because I like to make sure my message fits into it, and I like rock ballads for one thing as well. So they tend to be, yeah. What is his name? Father Lupus. That's it. Yeah, couldn't remember it for a second. No, it was something wolfish. Father Lupus. See, like, there was like 3 moments in there where a cut would have been perfect, but there it was just like off. And you got this like goofy, jumpy part when it's like a very dramatic sounding. Standard scenery adjustment. You can stop this in Grok by when you put your stabilization, you make sure it says background and scenery remain unchanged. It's still not going to be 100% happening, but that does kind of cut it down like almost 90% of the time. Good rotations though. And this is perfectly fine. Great cut. Cut. This fight scene was probably before the latest update for Grok. It is what it is. Grok just really doesn't like doing fights. At least didn't like doing fights at all. Now doesn't like doing fights that end in death. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a couple more edits of the fights, a couple more generations of fights, and doing a cut and split between them at moments. So you can have like diving in, hits one, and then rather than seeing them both turn to dust like that, you cut to him doing a strike on another creature, and then you cut back to him here as they're crumbling to dust. So it looks like he's hit one, turn around, hit the other, and then they both turn to dust at the same time. That's kind of what I probably would have done with that bit. And this is just Grok mucking around and making you continuously walk forward rather than leaning back with the swinging. It's just a nice scene. Good song, good concept. Just think it's a... No, I don't want this one, the previous one, don't I? Yeah, there we go. Could have done with a little bit more editing. Yeah, so that's Clearer Eyes by Kivox. So a number of times I've generated like 3 or 4 scenes, 3 or 4 times a scene. And I've looked at it and gone, well, I removed that one entirely. Yeah, you get that every now and again. So you throw one out entirely because it just doesn't match at all. And you look at the other 3 and you go, I like the start of that one. I like the end of that one as well. The middle's terrible. That one over there has got an interesting start, but it's not quite right. Got a good middle. The end's meh. And that one's got a fantastic middle and a fantastic end. And all you got to do is put them all in there and just give them a slice and dice and put them together.